So here basically we have done initial demand forecast in our user story number 1, and here in user story number 2, so we are trying to do whatever the initial who is defining this initial demand forecast. We have how many end users we have here in our sprint 2? Yes, one is product family manager and another one account demand manager.
Account demand
Correct?
manager.
Yes.
Sir.
So Sudhir, once call to Ayman.
Okay, sir.
We can see here in theory part, you can see here. So we'll focus on next module to support the account demand manager's needs. What does account manager needs exactly? So he needs to, as account demand manager, whatever the product family manager is calculated initial demand forecast, that he needs to adjust according to requirement. So he needs to override the whatever the initial demand forecast calculated by the product family manager. Is it correct? So that is main responsibilities. So you can see here how we will do that one. You can see how override. You can see this one, demand, detailed demand review UX. This UX page we need to create. Detailed demand review, nothing but, so each and every we are granular level we are checking. So you can see, so this one, how we can do override. So initial demand forecast is 1000, but we need to change. Override means we are writing extra. Override forecast is 2000. So final forecast will be override forecast will get in final forecast. Here we are not doing any override, so that is the reason we are getting 1000 only. In week 3 you can see 1000 only. Week 4 1000. So in January, so you have 4000. So in initial demand forecast, but we have increased 1000 extra. That is the reason final forecast will be here. All these cells getting adding in January month. So this way, wherever whatever the week you want to override, so for that one we can like account demand manager do the changes. So this is the main concept here. So by doing this one, so he can adjust on the base of requirement. This is the responsibility for the account demand manager. This UX page will create here in this sprint 2. We will create this one. How we will create each and everything we can see here. So who are changing this final demand forecasting? Who will do generally? Account demand manager or product family manager? Who?
Account demand manager.
Account demand manager. So who will do initial demand forecast? Who will calculate initial demand forecast?
Product demand manager.
Product family manager. Product family manager will calculate the initial demand forecast, and account demand manager will calculate the final demand forecast. Whatever the initial demand forecast he has calculated, so that he has to change on the base of requirement, on the base of like his local knowledge. So we can see here how we have update option. We have update demand forecast module. Whatever we have created a demand 03 module, for that one we need to add some line items here. You can see, so override line item we need to add, override forecast line item we need to create. These are the 3 line items we need to create. So in demand 03 forecast module we need to add these line items. So we need to add these line items, 3 line items: override and override forecast, and final forecast. So final forecast value we need to add here. So these 3 line items I have created here. So then you can see, After creating these 3 line items, I need to format these 3 line items, boolean, number and number. So you can see boolean, number and number. For this one I need to change the boolean. You can see I have changed here from number to boolean. We can check after creating this one. You can see this is the boolean. So what is the logic we should create here? So you can see here, allow, you can see override, allow end user to select the override initial demand forecast. So nothing but end user will select this one, which week he want to override. So which week 1 he wants to override, then we should click here and instead of writing 60 initial demand forecast, he wants to write 62 or something. So in this way we should create the logic. In final forecast, which value should I get here? Whether should I get initial demand forecast or whether I should get override forecast? Which value should I get here in final forecast? Generally, what is the logic should be there? Yes, which value should I get here? In final forecast, which value should I get here? Anyone can expect?
Sir, it's a override forecast.
So generally override forecast should get. So if it is generally what happened, like if it is a override, then we should get this one, override forecast. If it is a not for override, in this scenario you can see, do you have here this one? I am changing here 62 for example. So if I get each and every time override value, what should I get here? I in final forecast I will get 62, and here how much value I get? 0 I will get. Is it correct or not? In final forecast, if I get each and every time override, here I will get 62 and here I get 0. Is it correct or not? How should we create the logic? Yes, for final forecast, how should we create means, so we should write one condition. This is the just input we should select, and here override forecast means we should write manually. So these are the two things. We don't have any formula here. For this one we should, what should we write means formula. So we need to write one condition. If not forecast, if not override. So if it is not override, then if it is not override, then which value we want? Initial demand forecast. Is it correct or not? Else, if it is a override, then which value I should get? Final forecast. Is it correct or not? You can see here now. Sorry, I am referring formula same. It is not final forecast. It is the override forecast. You can see here how it happens. So you can see, if it is a override, then what happened? Override value I am getting. If it is a not override, then which value I am getting? Initial demand forecast. Is it correct or not? Yes. Is it correct or anything wrong here? Yes.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Sudhir, is it correct how I am getting this value? Yes. Whenever I do changes in that scenario, I am getting changed values. Whenever I don't do changes, then initial demand forecast I am getting. Is it correct or anything wrong, Sudhir? Inayatullah? Muthulakshmi, how it is working this formula?
Whenever we are selecting a specific week, in that case only it is reflecting.
So there we can, by selecting here, so in that week we want to override, we want to change some things. So in final forecast value, what is condition, what condition should I apply here means, whenever I do changes, that value should get in final forecast. If I don't do changes, then initial demand forecast only I should get. That is the reason. If not override, then initial demand forecast. I am not overriding here, so that is the reason. So I am not getting any change values. Only initial demand forecast, whatever we have, same values I am getting. If I do anything override here, you can see. If I do override, so override value is 0. That is the reason I am getting 0. Here also if I tick, you can see here. Here also I am getting 0. Is it clear how these things happening? Yes. So this way we should understand logic, how we are writing formula. So then only we'll get clear idea. Otherwise, if you simply copy paste, you don't get anything. So you can see this one, you can copy paste this formula. I will text you in chat box, but try to understand and write formula by your own. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So which one final forecast line item? So you can see we have another aspect here. So I want to show here. So you can write for this formula another way. How you can write means, so if it is not override, then initial demand forecast. So here in this way we are writing. So instead of this one, if I write this like this, what happened you can see. If override, then if override, then override forecast, else initial demand forecast. If I write this formula in this way, what happened you can see. So here also I am getting same concept. So you can see, if override, then override forecast. If it is override, then I am getting override values, else initial demand. Otherwise what I am getting, initial demand forecast, whatever the base values I have. But this formula is give less performance. How it affects, can anyone expect? Faiz, can you expect? Why do this way? Why will don't write formula this way? We have some rule. We have one rule. Whenever if you write if then else condition, we have one rule. First, can you expect why should not write in this way?
I think the process will go in reverse way as if you write formula this way. Because see, if we override then forecast,
Yes.
it is considering it is going in a reverse way as way. Because in the first line item we have initial demand forecast and then we have override forecast.
Okay. The basically what is the correct answer means. So in if then else conditions, first this is the condition. If override, over after if whatever you have, this is the condition. If this condition is true, then it should write this value, override forecast. Otherwise it should go for the second answer. This is a question. So whenever if you write any condition, that condition you can see override. So you can see override, how many times we have done override here? Yes, only one time. But non override, how many cells we have? How many weeks we have? So many weeks we have. So whenever if you write condition, so the condition should be maximum, it should be true. Whatever the maximum number of times it is true, that only we should write in condition. Then what happened, it goes generally for the true. So that is the reason what happened. So if you write like whatever which one is the more number of times true, this one you can see not override. That is the reason we are writing not override. Is it clear why we are writing not override first? In condition, whatever the chance of maximum number of true chances are there, You can see not override, override. Which one is the most number of times we have? Not
Not
override
override.
or override?
Not override.
Which one do we have?
Not override.
Not override. That
Not
is the reason.
override.
In condition, you should write whatever the most times we have true, that only we should write in condition. This will give what happened. So it improves the performance. Otherwise, if you write false condition first, what happened? Simply it decreases the performance. Is it clear for everyone why it is happening? Yes.
Can you repeat again?
So what happened in conditions, if then else condition, we should write whatever the maximum number of times we have true. In that condition, how many times we have true for override or non-override?
One for override and multiple times in non-override.
So that is the reason not override I am taking. It is not override I am taking as a condition. So you can see maximum number of truths we have. That is the reason. If not override, then initial demand forecast. Else not override, else means it will override. If override forecast will get. So in this way, whatever the maximum number of true, how many cells we have, that one we should take each and every time in if then else statement. Is it clear, everyone?
Yeah. Clear.
In
Yes, sir.
conditions, we should take as a condition whichever the maximum number of times we have true. So that is our rule. So it will give smooth performance. So is it clear for everyone? You can see here. So they are checking, like comparing here, taking they are selecting week number 2 and they want to write here 2. So you can also do same thing, like remove this one. So here you can select and you can write here 62. So you can see same screen. Are you getting? You should add summary methods turn on for these line items. Forecast, you can see summary method we should turn on here for this line item. So is it getting matching whatever we have done? And yes. So is it clear? Are we getting same thing? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So same way we are getting the data, so that you can see another update module setting line items. So style setting means we are setting some line items as a bold to easily identify that line items. You can see initial demand forecast, override forecast. These line items we want to keep bold here. So that is the reason. So we want to keep here bold. Go to blueprint view and you can change the styles. So you can see summary method we need to heading you can keep. So same thing if you, so it will get highlight. I think heading is not correct one, so it is looking different. So I will select like summary one. So you can see, you can compare these things with your answer. Is it correct? Does our line items style is get changed or not? Yes. So why we are trying to do the change our line item style? Yes. Why we are trying to do?
For highlighting. For highlighting.
So, yes, highlighting purpose we are trying to do here. So this is a we have completed with this updating line module. So next we have very important one like dynamic cell access. So this is a very important topic, like very high granular level of security we can provide to the model by using the dynamic cell access. So each and every interview in security levels like roles, selective access and dynamic cell access. So we can control here by using the each and every cell line item level by using the dynamic cell access. So you can see one way to improve usability for the end user to control the access to certain data based on criteria. For example, only allowing for the input of an override value when override boolean formatted line item is selected. So we can give so many ways to the controls to the end user. For that one, so first of all we should create access driver module here. So how we apply this dynamic cell access to any module we can see here. So first by using the access driver module only we can control the each and every line item and cell level. So how it is happening we can see here. Once I will create the access driver module. So this is the access driver module category dummy module I am creating first of all. So in modules on top I will create this one dummy module I am creating access driver module. So I am removing this one dimension. So this is a very important one. I will so many times I will try to repeat this one. So you can see. So access driver module, in access driver module, so module name should be this one. So this is the access driver 01 P3 by account by week. So you can see here. You can see this is access driver module name, and what are the dimensions we should take? P3 SQL list and account list. Is it correct? P3 account list and P3 SQL and you can see accounts list. So P3 SQL and account list you can see. So then what are the line items I should take here? Write line item. You can see in access driver module we should create the some boolean formatted line items. So this is a major thing. So by you here how many dimensions we are controlling files? Can you guess? Yes. How many dimensions?
3 dimensions as
3 dimensions. So what are our same? What are the demand 03 dimensions? Yes.
Same
P3
dimension
SKU and account.
we have taken.
P3 SKU accounts, you can see P3 SKU accounts and weeks 3 dimensions we have. Whenever if you want control any module, so in account in demand drivers module how many dimensions we should take? Yes. If I want to
3.
control this line items, cell line item and cell level access I want control to demand 03 module. In access I need to create the access driver module. How many dimensions I should take here to control this?
3 dimensions.
Same
3
dimension
dimensions.
we should take 3 dimension, then only we can control. Last time we told so many times I asked you to revise these things, but you told only so many times only we can control one dimension. So can we control so multi dimensions or not by using the access driver module? Yes.
Yes, as you will.
Yes.
What should we do? If you want if I want to control more dimension, what should I do? What should I do, Pais?
Whatever dimensions we wanted to control, we can take in the access driver, Rasibai.
Okay. So same dimensions we should take in
Access driver.
access driver module. So this way we can control so many dimensions. So this is the answer we should provide. How we should control so many dimensions means in access driver, if you add so many dimensions, we can control the multi dimensions by using dynamic cell access. So this is the way I have created. You can see this access driver module. First of all, boolean formatted line item I have created here.
One dot.
Wise, are you asking any question?
Actually, so many dimensions in the sense, whatever the dimensions are there in that particular module, only those many dimensions, right?
Yes, that dimensions only we can control. So other dimensions, how should I control, and why should I need other dimensions other than?
Exactly. Out of three, if we want to control only one or two dimensions, then we will take only those two dimensions, right, Ashwin?
It will be then source and target is not equal in that scenario. Whatever the dimension in source we want, like we have, so that dimension we should take in our these modules. In access driver module we should take.
If you want to control only one or two dimensions, then we can't we take only one or two dimensions,
No,
Ashwin?
no, we should
We
access
don't
driver,
want to
we should control all dimensions, then only we can control. How should I control? In my target module I have 3 dimension. How can I control one dimension if I have 3 dimensions in my source? So we should create the same dimensions whatever we have, so according to that only we can control. So you can see here, after adding this one, so add formula for the write line item demand03 forecast module. So this line item, what should we do? So I should write formula access driver module. What is my formula? Demand03 forecast line item I should select here. So here what is my condition? What I am trying to do here in access driver module, demand03 forecast override. So you can see by writing this one what happening. So by writing here access driver module demand03 forecast override, what happening? Wherever you have done override here, same thing you can see here. Is it correct or not? So if I do override here, then what happened? I can see. Is it correct or not? Yes. Hello. Yes, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
Ashwin.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you can see how many cells if I select here, those cells I can see. Why means I am using the formula. You can see demand03 override forecast module. Then what happened after selecting this formula? So we have completed this one. Then next step, what should we do? Apply dynamic cell access to demand forecast module. Open demand03 forecast module in blueprint view. In write access driver column, override forecast line item, select this one. So override forecast line item. So what should we do? Simply go here in demand03 forecast module. So simply what should we do? Click on blueprint view. So override. When should I override? You can see here. Read access and write access you can see here. Read access means you can view only, you can read the data, and write access means, so if I apply write access, what happened? You can see add 01 write line item you can see. So access driver module account by week write. If I select this one, what happened? Simply you can see here. So by applying this one, so what happened means you can see, so only these 2 weeks I have selected here. So that is the earlier what happened, I have selected 2 weeks here. That is the reason I can edit here these two cells. So remaining wherever you can see, so I can't give any access here. So I can't write anything here. Why I can't write anything here? Yes, why I can't write anything here? Why I can't write anything here? You can see here in access driver module how many weeks we have selected. Only week number 2 and 3. So that is the reason you can see week number 2 and 3 is we have selected earlier. So, but week number 1 or 4, if I want to select, what should I do? Yes. What should I do if I want to select week number 1 and 4? So we need
We
to
should
remove
go
that.
backside one.
We
You
need to
have to uncheck that right access.
already we have removed right access for all these things. That is the reason. So we want only edit. We need to give edit option for these two cells. That is our main intention. That is the reason we are getting removing. So if I don't remove that one, if I remove dynamic cell access, what happened? Easily you can edit anything. I will remove this one. You can see here. If I remove this one, so you can see again all options you can see. So all option. So I want to give only right access for the 2 weeks. So that is the reason I want to select here. So I need to select here. End user will select here. These 2 weeks they need to override. So then I am giving here. So simply if I want to select another week, we should remove that one. I want select 4 weeks. So simply again I can apply this one, same thing. So then 4 weeks I can edit. You can see here. So 4 weeks we can edit. So I have option here also, edit option I have. For example, I have edit option here also. But why I am not getting change here, whatever the values I am changing? Can you anyone suggest? Explain why I am, even though if I am getting changing here, why this final values I am not getting here? Why I am getting here only? So if whatever I write, I can see that changes in final demand forecast. Yes, whatever the changes I am doing, I can get here. Why I am, whatever the changes I am doing here, why I am not getting? Yes, yes, why I am not getting these changes? Are you there, everyone?
As we didn't select. Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Because we didn't check override, as you say.
So the thing is, we didn't done override for this cells. What is our condition for the final forecast? If it is an override, then only it works. It not override, what happened? It is not override. It is not overriding. That is the reason. If it is not override, then what happens? Initial demand forecast only I should get. You can see here, whatever the initial demand forecast we have, we are getting here. Here we are doing override. So that is the reason. If it is done override, then it goes for the override forecast. Is it correct or not? Yes.
Yes, yes,
So that
yes.
is the reason it is not taking, even though I am doing changes. So this way we need to understand how this it works. So try to understand this one. So you can see here I will remove this one. So what they are suggesting, how many weeks they want to check here, we will try to see. So override, you can see. So override line items. If we don't check anything, what happened? If you don't check anything, simply what happened? Simply if you remove, so what happened if you remove this one? You can't see anything here. So override forecast, you can't see anything. So this way we can, like, if you don't override, whatever the initial demand forecast you have, you can see same thing. So in final demand forecast, if you do override, then only what happened? You will get the override value. Is it clear? So you can see here. So whenever, what is the difference between the after DCA and before DCA? You can see. So after DCA, before DCA, we'll get like this. This like this we'll get. So you can see like this. So we have zeros here before applying DCA. So you can see here we'll get zeros generally. So I will try to apply DCA here. You can see what is the difference between the before DCA and after DCA. Are you able to see anything here? If I apply override here, yes, I don't select anything here. Can I edit anything? Yes.
No, it's not editable.
If I select here, what happened? I can edit here. Whatever the changes I want, I can do. You can see here. If I select here, I will get option here. Whatever the value I select. So in this way, we can get the values. So by applying the DCA to the line item. So why I am getting, whenever if I select this only, I am getting option here. What is the secret rule? Why it is happening? If I select only, why I am getting the edit option? Otherwise, why I am not getting? What is the reason? Yes.
Because we are overriding it. Overriding it.
Okay, if you override, then only it is working. But whatever the DC I applied, I have applied this one add 01 P3 for this module. What is the formula I am writing? Write demand 03 demand forecast override. Means whenever this demand 03 override is true, then only it should be true. Whatever we are giving some rule to the this access driver module, and then this same line item we are using as a DCI in blueprint. We have this override forecast line item. So what happening wherever we are doing this override, so then easily you can edit here. If you don't select anything, what happened? You can't do any changes here. So you can't see anything here. So you can't see anything. Why? Only you have given the right access driver. That is the reason it is happening. So you can see. So in this way we can apply, we can control each and every cell level of the module. So this is a very granular level of access. We can control, we can provide the control to the end users. So that is the reason DCI is in each and every interview they will ask. So that we should very clear, and we should practice this 3-4 times. Then only we'll get clear idea. So you can see here how before DCA we can see like this, but after DCA we can see like this empty. Whenever if you select, then only we can get the output. Is it clear how we are getting these things? Yes. Is it clear for everyone why we are getting these things? Yes. So are you there or not, everyone?
Yes,
Yes, Ashish bhai.
Okay, fine. So we can see here. So next we need to create the one UX page here. So saved views we need to create here, and in supply chain module, so demand 03 module we need to create another line item. So that is the forecast CF. So forecast CF you can see here. So format should be number. You can see here only we should create another line item. So what is our line item name? So at the end we should create another line item, but that is the forecast CF. So what is the name of this line item?
forecast CF.
So for this one, what is the condition we should use? Compare the values of initial demand forecast and values of the final demand forecast. So If initial demand forecast equal to final forecast, then set forecast value CF to 0. If it is initial demand forecast is not equal to final forecast, then it should be 1. So how should we write this logic? Like this we should write. So simply you can write like this: if initial demand forecast equal to final demand forecast, then 0, else it should be 1. So what is mean by it? If initial demand forecast is equal to final demand forecast, then 1, otherwise it should be 1. So what is mean by it? Means whenever if you do override, in that scenario what happened, you will get 1. You can see, if it is a 60-60, then you will get 0. If it is 60, you have done 62. So in this scenario what happening, you are getting 1. Wherever you are doing changes, there you are getting, you can see forecast factor. So we are highlighting that things. That is the reason we want to write this condition. Is it clear why I am trying to write this extra line item and why I want to do highlight this line item? Yes.
Yes, Asif.
So the thing is, we need to.
Asif bhai,
Yes.
doubt Asif bhai.
Yes.
I didn't understand this, Asif bhai. Why we need to create this line item and put a 0 and 1, Asif bhai? What is the reason behind that?
If I am doing over,
How is it going
if I am
to
doing override, then I am getting 1. So wherever in which weeks I done override, that thing I want to highlight. That's it. Wherever I am changing the values to initial demand forecast to final demand forecast, that one I am highlighting Faiz. Wherever
Highlighting
that
with
understood,
one.
Asif?
wherever I have same values, initial demand forecast and final demand forecast, we don't want to highlight that cells. Wherever I am doing changes from initial demand to final demand forecast, so here wherever we want to like override, and we are wherever we want to change the values, that one we are highlighting, so that everyone can understand, yes, this week we have done changes. That is the thing. Nothing is a secret. If you don't do override, you don't get anything.
In forecast CF, Asif
Yes.
bhai.
Yes.
For in forecast CF is there, right? CF means
Correction factor.
okay.
So you can see, if I do remove this one, simply I will get 0 here. So this way we'll get.
Sir, where we have set this one, suppose if you are clicking on checkbox, it is automatically coming 1 now. So where we have given the inputs to come like that?
What is the formula I am writing? If initial demand forecast is equal to final forecast, if this value is
Okay.
this value, I should get 0. This 60 is not equal to this final forecast. You can see initial demand forecast and final demand forecast. If these values are not same, then I am getting 1. So if I do here override also, I don't get. You can see I am getting 0 here. So here I have 0, here 73. That is the reason I am getting 1. Initial demand forecast and final demand forecast should be same, then it will get 0. If it is changed, then what happened? Simply I will get the highlight here 1. Is it clear why we are getting 1 here?
Yes, sir.
Why we want to do highlight 1? Yes.
Because if you have made the changes, that has to reflect with one.
Yes, reflect, and we want to highlight that changes. Wherever that week we want to highlight. That's it. So anyway, we can see here. So this is this we need to, you can see here, wherever we do changes, that one will do will highlight. You can see 62, wherever this week 2 we have changed. That is the reason we should show highlight that week. So you can see in this way. So for that one, what should we do? We need to create some saved view. So saved view name detailed demand grid UX. One saved view we need to create here. So in this demand03 module, we need to create the one saved view. You can see here, we need to create one saved view. So in this saved view, try to open this saved view. So in this saved view, what is the dimension we should keep here? Line items and time should be there in column. So account should be there in pages, and P3 SKU should be there in rows. So same way try to maintain this one. So show only initial demand forecast and final forecast. We should keep only these two line items. We should not show other line items. So simply first of all, initial demand forecast and final forecast. These two line item we should save. Show selection. These two line items only we should show. So then how should I do? You can see how should I do pivot means initial demand forecast and P3 SKU should be there here. Account should be there in pages. So whatever they are suggesting, as per their review only, I am doing whatever we want. You can see initial demand forecast and final demand forecast line item will be there. So we can see later. So in this way, what can we do? You can see. So these two tabs, they are opening, initial demand forecast and final demand forecast, they are comparing. So then you can see pivot the module is completed. Yes. So create and apply conditional formatting rule to the style, the final forecast line item values to blue to indicate the initial demand forecast has been overridden. So and update the final forecast value. So use the forecast CF line item to create the filter for the conditional formatting. If value is 1, apply the formatting name and the save the view. So what we want to do, so wherever we do the changes, that one what should we do? Yes, guys, wherever we have done changes, for that one what is the value we should get?
1.
1 we should get. So you can see conditional formatting we want to apply here. So how we can apply conditional formatting means, so for which line item we want to apply conditional formatting, create apply and conditional formatting rule to the final forecast line item. Item value should be blue. You can see final forecast line item value should be blue. Wherever the it is get changed, 62 wherever it is changed, that one it should be looks in blue color. So simply apply conditional formatting here. Apply here conditional formatting new rule. So what is the line item we should select? Final forecast line item. From where should I take values? This is a different forecast CF. From this line item, why I have created means the purpose is wherever I have forecast CF is 1, means wherever I have change, for that one I should get the blue color. You can see 0 is minimum and 1 is the maximum. So color should be select. You can see white and blue. Then what happened? You can see if you apply this filter condition. So what happened? We can see in final forecast line item. Are you able to see changes wherever I have week 2? Are you able to see changes how it is getting change, how it is changing the color from white to blue color?
Yes, awesome.
So why we have created that line item means I am using as a just for conditional formatting. I need to, wherever I do override, that one I need to get 1 there. So on the base of that one I am applying so conditional formatting to the this final forecast line item. So if I do override, then only I can see here week 3 in initial and final forecast is the same 60. So that is the reason I am getting here. I am not getting any color. If I try to do changes here, something, so if I want to do something change means I need to go here. So here it is then what happened? You can see. So week 3 also I have changed week 3. So here then what happened? So then after I changing this one, so it is totally this views get changed. So I need to once again pivot. I need to save the view. So you can see here week number 3 also try to, all line items we can see here. Only we need 2 line items. So if you don't save the after changing anything, what happens, simply will face these problems. Is it correct? If I don't do save, yes, is it correct?
Yes, Asu.
Yes, sir.
Each and every time after applying conditional formatting and everything, I think this conditional formatting also it get removed here. So 1 minute I will check. Yes, send message as a rejoin in every group, Arshad and Sudhir.
Yes, Asu.
You can see our conditional formatting also get removed. So new rule I need to create for final demand forecast. Yes, are you able to see everyone my screen?
Yes, sir.
Only 2 members are there.
Yeah.
So if I do changes in week 3 also, I can see here blue color. Week 3 also I can see. Is it clear for you how the things are getting changing?
Yes,
Yeah.
Asu.
So this way we need to understand wherever we do override that thing we can get highlight here. So we need to do the changes after each and every changes. Otherwise that changes will not get remain. So that is the thing. So we have created saved view here. So we need to create another saved view, create demand override. So this override grid UX saved view we need to create here in same module. So why we need to create means we have some reason here. So another saved view we try to create here. So this saved view we need to create override grid UX. So in override grid UX, override grid UX, how we need to keep the dimensions means pivot P3 SKU and account should be in pages, find time should be in column, line item should be in rows. Already we have this same sequence. Show only initial demand forecast, override forecast and final forecast. Final forecast line item. 4 line items we want. So whatever the line items we have, this initial demand forecast and override forecast and this one. Is it correct? So yes, initial demand forecast, override forecast and final forecast line items. These 4 line items we need to select. So you can see simply show selection. So we need to save the thing, whatever the changes we are doing. Yes. So show only yes, we have completed this one. So after completing this one, we need to create some detailed demand UX page we need to create. So anyway, we have two activities we have. Tomorrow we'll complete all these two activities. So UX page we need to create, and like other things also we need to, like some roles we need to create. So tomorrow we can wrap up this sprint 2, so that later we can start sprint 3 activities day after tomorrow onwards. So do we have any doubts here how we are doing this one? Yes.
No, Asif.
So fine, try to complete all these activities. Update me. So what about you? Did you start level 2 activities? I have given new workspace as well.
Yeah, started, sir.
How many activities did you complete?